Hello, everybody. My name is Jacob Rubizan. I am working for Oleander, and in my role for Oleander, I am also contributing to the CoMPAS project. And in this tutorial, I would like to show you a plugin that we're using in our CoMPAS distribution that is called the Publisher. This plugin allows you to manipulate report, GOOSE, and sampled value control blocks and the data set that is attached to the control block. I want to show you this with a file that hosts a few IDs with different roles, just to be able to look at various types of control blocks. So merging units for sample value streams, we have switch control units and bay control units for gooses, and then also reports. And the file also has a communication section with two subnetworks, station bus and process bus, where a merging unit and switch control unit are connected to the process bus, and bay control units are connected to both station bus and the process bus. Now, the publisher plugin itself looks like that when you activate it. You can see it is structured in 4 sections. So you can manipulate data sets individually. You can manipulate sampled value streams or the control block of a sampled value stream, the GOOSE control block, GSE control, and the report control block, report control. Let me start with dataset. So the list is the same in conceptually for all the 4 sections. You see that the element is grouped into the ID where it is defined. So in this case, we have data sets that are grouped by the ID. You can filter for those, either for the dataset name. You can also filter for the ID. You also can filter for the logical device. If you select such a control block, data set, sorry, then you see this pane where you can manipulate the attributes of this data set, so the name of the data set, but also the description. Whenever you change something to the element, no matter whether it's a GOOSE control block, sample value control block, or the data set, the button will be highlighted and allows you to change the value. Now, next to manipulating the data attributes of the attributes of the element data set, you can also manipulate the content of the data set, that being removing data. You can change the order of the data in the data set, so the order of the FCDA elements in the data set. You can filter here as well, of course. You can filter again for all kinds of things, either for the description of the data or other aspects of the data. You can add data attributes. It will be put on the bottom of the data set. You can also add so-called function constraint data, so data objects constrained to a specific functional constraint. In this case, for example, all the status data and the behavior data object of the alarm handling logical node. Yeah, again, to the top, to the bottom. It's not a data attribute that you see, but data object with function constraint. And you can see how many data attributes or data entries you can add to a given data set. This is defined in the services section of an ID. And when you exceed the number, then you cannot add any data anymore. Now, when we look at the other sections, so basically, for example, the GOOSE control block, this data set block will appear here as well. So You can either manipulate data sets individually, or you can manipulate them in the context of the control block that they are attached to. So you can do the same things. You can manipulate the name and description. You can add data. You can remove data, and it will show you how many data you can add additionally. Now, in addition to that, you can also switch the data set in a given control block. So say you've defined your data set, and in the later stage, you want to attach data set to a control block that you also created. You can do it here. You can attach it new, or you can create, attach another data set. Now, in addition to the data set, a control block holds other configuration settings, and depending on the control block, they are different. With the Goose control block, you can manipulate the GAC control element itself. So you can, for example, configure the app ID of it. And you can see the configuration revision and also can change that. Although this is also in the background being handled by the plugin as well. So when you change data, the configuration division will be updated. You can change the name and the description field, and then you can change other settings that are related to the Goose control block. Right. And then for Goose, also sampled value streams, you can manipulate communication settings of the control block. For Goose, that means destination MAC address, app ID, VLAN ID, and VLAN priority, and then the min and max time for the Goose repetition strategy. These elements are allocated in the communication section, and you can only see them when there is something configured in the communication section. If we look at the sampled value control block, it looks very similar. We have the data set, then we have the attributes of the sampled value control element, which are slightly different, but do the same thing. So basically are there to configure this type of service. You can also see this the communication settings as with the Goose. They are slightly different. As you can see, the MAC address range is defined different for the sampled value streams as well as the app ID range. You can configure VLAN ID and VLAN priority. A Goose doesn't have something like min or max time, so there is nothing there. But then you can also define what information next to the data in a sampled value stream you can send. So you can send the refresh time, whether the samples are synchronized. You can send the sample rate, the data set reference, security information, a timestamp, and the ID of the synchronization source. In the same way. So whenever you change something to a given part of the SCL and it differs from the SCL, this button will be enabled and you can save the information. Last but not least, we see the report control block. The same concept. You have the data set that is attached to the report control block that you can manipulate. Then you have the report control element itself, where you, for example, can set up whether your report is indexed, how many clients you can expect the report to handle, the buffer time, integration period, and others. And then unique to the report control block, you have the trigger options that you can change and the optional fields of the report that you can set up as well with some help to interpret all of that configurations. If you look at the list, there are other things that you can do here as well. So up until now, I've shown you how to manipulate a given or an existing control block. You can also add new control blocks. That is also linked to the services section of the IAD, and make sure that you stay within the capabilities of the IAD as defined in the services section. Now, when you create a control block, independent of whether it is a Goose or a report, you cannot create sample value stream control blocks at the moment in this plugin. A dummy control block is being created. So with a unique name in the ID and some pre-defined values here. Uh, and GSE control element will be created as well, where the plugin makes sure that the app ID and the MAC address ID are unique in the SCL file. Now you can change, of course, the name of the control block as it fits you. You can add data sets and other settings. You can change the app ID and so on and so forth. You can change, of course, the communication settings as well. And then you can add a new data set to it, which creates, again, a dummy data set that you can manipulate as well by changing the name, adding a description, and then, of course, what's the whole purpose of it? Adding data to the data set, and then in this case, the control block, basically. You can, of course, also remove a complete goose. What happens in the background is we check if the goose is connected to other IDs, and if there are LGOS or LSVS instances in the SCL file that supervise a specific goose. So when you remove such a goose control block or sample value control block or report control block, we do a lot of cleaning up in the SCL file in the background to make sure that your SCL file doesn't have any orphans or invalid references anymore. And another nice feature is the copy of a data set of a control block. So if you click on the copy button, the plugin will check whether this control block can be copied over to other IDs. It is checking whether the data of the to be copied control block does exist in the other ID. So the control block, of course, must not be invalid when copying. It will check whether the destination of the control block exists in the other ID. So say your goose is existing in the second logical device of the ID with the name LD2. That must exist in the other ID as well to be able to copy it over. And if these checks are true for an ID, you can select and deselect it. If not, you see the information that the ID structure is incomplete. You'll also check whether such a goose already exists in the other ID to make sure that the naming restrictions in the schema are met. And then if you've done so, you can copy over the goose into other IDs. That is especially useful when you do bottom-up configuration, and very often the report control per bay, for example, is very similar for a given ID that is doing the same thing. So you might want to copy over the control block once you're done with the configuration. All right, that is already it. Thank you for your attention and have a good time.